Good day, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Made Easy with Emmanuel Jackson. Okay, in today's session of Crypto Made Easy with Emmanuel Jackson, we'll be handling the topic understanding Bitcoin and the blockchain technology. In our last class of Crypto Made Easy with Emmanuel Jackson, we learned about the various ways you can actually make money from the crypto blockchain space. So today we are going to broaden our horizon and knowledge about crypto made easy, understanding Bitcoin and the blockchain technology and how it actually works, how this actually comes out and actually works. So I remain Emmanuel Jackson from Learn BTC Trade Academy. And Learn BTC Trade Academy is an academy that is fostered to teach the young ones, youth, and the populace about the crypto space and the technology. Blockchain technology. So we called for the home of wealth creation through blockchain technology. So today we'll be moving straight to understanding Bitcoin, how it works, and the blockchain technology. If you're actually joining us here, please do well to indicate in the comment box where you are joining us from, and if you have questions, do well to drop them in the comment section. I'll attend to every question as time permits us. Okay, so in today's course, I'll be sharing my screen to teach us this very well. So we're going straight to the point, going straight right away because there's no time on our side, guys. Okay. All right, so we are here. You're joining me, I believe so. So we are in understanding how Bitcoin and the blockchain technology works. Understanding Bitcoin and how the blockchain technology works. So it's going to be an interesting session, and I believe we're going to get value at the end of the course. So first thing we are handling is what is blockchain technology. After the class, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp line is here on the description box, which you can get access to this PowerPoint slide. Okay, what is blockchain technology? Blockchain technology, as you can see it here, is a way of managing a ledger of records in a decentralized method. That is, this record is kept open to everyone, making it impossible for someone to change what has been imputed into the blockchain for the aim of cheating other parties involved. So, like I said, this was developed by me. So after the class, you can actually have access to it. So blockchain technology is basically a way of keeping records. We have been used to the native ways of keeping records. We go to the store it manually, paper format, the rest. But now blockchain technology is also a way of saving and keeping records, but what in a more decentralized method. And how is it more in a more decentralized method? This method helps it to be secured, in which everyone has access to the information stored. You get, and how blockchain technology works, you can't actually change information that has been imputed. We notice that, let's say for example, your examinations, you can actually go write your exams, submit it, and someone's remove it, your script. But on a blockchain, if you wrote your exam and submit it, no one can remove it or impute it, change what you wrote to something else. That's blockchain for you, and everyone sees it. Not, for example, in the examination setting, in which only the examiner will have access to that. But if you're talking about blockchain, everyone sees it, so no one can actually impute it or remove your data, and makes it an interesting technology because it helps to secure you and you don't feel cheated. You're not cheated. So blockchain technology is just a way of managing ledger of records in a more decentralized method. Now we also have what we call cryptography. Cryptography. we hear the word cryptocurrency, cryptography. What actually is cryptography? Cryptography is the act of changing a message or encrypting a message so it makes no sense to anyone except the right person the message is intended for. That is why you hear people say cryptocurrency is secretive in nature. That's it. It actually helps to protect you, in which, for example, I can send a message to someone over there, overseas, for example, somewhere else, and no one will have, for example, if you're sending a message using the telecommunications, the MTN, the third parties will be able to read the message you are sending, in which it doesn't make you secure. But cryptography will encrypt that message, for example, in a form in which any third party involved won't see it till the right person that message was meant for will see it and understand that message. So that's what cryptography is all about. So we move. So I'm going to be explaining blockchain in a more simplified form, and I'll be using the story of four friends. And let's say the four friends' names are Emmanuel, Guru, Timothy, and Odesayo. Let's work with that. So these are four friends in which they actually saving money. For example, let's bring in that method. They are saving money with each other. You get, and everyone is expected to pay money to a particular person. For example, let's use the method. And doing that, I can now decide to cheat the system and say so person paid. I can minus what has happened, money that's come in. You get, but when we bring in blockchain into it, makes it open that everyone, if I make a payment of 10,000 naira in the savings platform, the blockchain makes it that everyone sees that I have made a payment of 10,000 naira, and that can't be changed. That can't be changed. Get the concept? That can't be changed. Makes it that everyone sees that I have made a payment of that, and that can't be changed. It can't be changed or altered. The next person makes a payment, everyone sees that. So in the end of the game, no one is being superior, like centralized, in which in the formal way you'll be saving that money to one particular person, which that particular person can decide to cheat the other parties involved, or get into an agreement with other persons and say, oh, we tell this other person we didn't receive this amount, that cheating everyone. But by using the concept of blockchain, everyone receives the same. Everyone sees transactions that are run on the blockchain, and no one is cheated. No one is cheated at all. Not cheated at all. So it's a quite impressive one, because everyone wants equality. So the blockchain technology is actually a very wonderful concept. Then we have characteristics of blockchain. One of the characteristics of blockchain is immutable. Immutable. What does that mean? It can't be changed. Whatever is input, and I've talked about that already on the blockchain, can't actually change. You can actually input something and remove it. So no one can cheat the next party. So blockchain is immutable. Wonderful one. Another characteristic of blockchain technology is that zero centralization, in which no one has the rights. No one is a top figure. Let's say, like for example, centralization, we have the bank, the government, the banks in charge, and the rest. No one has that power over you, or over your money, or over what you are doing. But everyone has that equal right. Equal right. That's why we bring in democracy. Everyone that has that equal right to vote for decisions being made on the blockchain, to also see transactions being made on the blockchain. Everyone has that right. So no one is being ignored, or no one is being denied the access to information. So no centralization, zero centralization. Everyone has that right. That's why it's called decentralized. Decentralized. Very good characteristics of the blockchain. Then another characteristic of blockchain is no third parties infringement. That case clears charges. When we talk about that, good. Talk about the banks. When you are doing a transaction and using third parties, the banks have to benefit from such a transaction, and they put in extremely high fees, charge you for transactions you make. But on a blockchain, transaction fees are not paid only on transfers you make, and they are minimal. You are not being cheated. Minimal. They are minimal. So that's a great characteristics of blockchain. Still learning more because of the lesson. So next thing is, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is actually one of the ways in which we now knew about what we call the blockchain technology. Bitcoin is what brought in the concept of blockchain. Like Bitcoin is the first blockchain. Yeah, let's talk about that. So now, what basically is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency developed in the year 2008 by a person or group of persons named Satoshi Nakamoto. Note that, Satoshi Nakamoto, and was made public as a digital asset in the year 2009 through its white paper launching. The first Bitcoin transaction was exchanging 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins in the year 2010. Bitcoin is money, but digital in nature. That is, you can't see Bitcoin, you can't touch it, you can't feel it. That's it. So Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and was developed in the year 2008. That was when the group of persons or Satoshi Nakamoto thought of the idea, but he made it public in the year 2009 through listing out his white paper. White paper contains what problems the Bitcoin blockchain ecosystem was solving, what uses it was using, basically for using and buying and services and actually add value. So Bitcoin is what the first transaction was using. Someone actually now accepted Bitcoin and sold 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Presently now 10,000 Bitcoins is a lot of money, but at 2010 it was less than some dollars. You know what I mean? So Bitcoin is what money, but in digital form, and it works with the deflationary system of economy. You get, in 2008 we were having financial crisis. The banks closed down, inflation rates was so high, so that's why a group of person, or the person named Satoshi Nakamoto, thought of an idea that will make money valuable and make inflation rates to reduce. And he thought of Bitcoin, making it decentralization, and that followed the deflationary system of economy. And when we talk about the deflationary system of economy, what does it protect? Okay, deflationary system of economy is in which a commodity has limited supply, and when demand is high, it tends to still do well because there is limited supply and the value, it gets the value. So that way, how did it make that possible? There will be only 21 million Bitcoins in existence. That makes it what a scarce commodity and valuable. We have the likes of other scarce commodities, like we have gold, we have silver, we have oil, and this makes them valuable assets. So he came up with that idea, and that made Bitcoin valuable. So now every Bitcoin wallet has an address where Bitcoin can be sent from the sender to the receiver, just like a typical bank account. So now you have Bitcoin in your wallet. How can you use it to purchase it, sell it for goods and services and the rest? We have what we call the wallet address, just like your bank account number if you are using the traditional banking system, in which now I send someone my address and it sends me Bitcoin. Good stuff, money transactions are being made. So I believe we are getting value. If you have questions, please do well to drop them in the comment section. I'll do well to attend to them. So let's proceed. So now I'll be defining various terminologies in the Bitcoin sector and blockchain technology. Like I told us, today's understanding how Bitcoin and blockchain technology works. So we're going to get this very well. So now I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin blocks and Bitcoin confirmations. So what is a Bitcoin block? These are transactions made on the blockchain. Transactions made on the blockchain are made on blocks in which every transaction is grouped into a block of Bitcoin. Bitcoin confirmations is made up of up to 6 confirmations, and when confirmations shows complete, it means you have successfully sent or received Bitcoin involved and that transaction is completed successfully. So what is Bitcoin blocks? Transactions made on the blockchain are what grouped into a block. That's like a storage. So it keeps records of every transaction. The block keeps record of every transaction made on the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain. Then we have confirmations. Confirmation is I sending you some funds. I'm sending you more Bitcoin, for example. For you to be able to receive that Bitcoin in your own wallet, confirmations has to be done on the blockchain, which involves miners on validating that confirmation. We're going to learn more about that in the next topic we'll be talking about. Miners confirming that confirmation. If it's validated, that means you have that Bitcoin in your wallet address. So when the confirmations are up to at least minimum of 6, it should be successful and you should have received the Bitcoin, or if you have sent it, it should be sent successfully. So that's what we call Bitcoin confirmations. Another thing we'll be talking on is what we call Bitcoin digital signatures. Bitcoin digital signatures. And what does Bitcoin digital signatures means? This is the process of confirming that the Bitcoin you want to send out of your wallet belongs to you and it's available in your wallet. This is done by the blockchain having access to your public keys for not exposing it to the block public. When we talk about Bitcoin digital signatures, it's actually a way of proof checking. Does this actually person has Bitcoin in his wallet? You actually want to send Bitcoin to someone else. The Bitcoin digital signatures now confirms, does this person has Bitcoin in his wallet, and does he have that available amount he wants to send to the person? And how can that be possible? By the blockchain having access to your public keys, because that's where your crypto or your Bitcoin is being stored, on your public keys. So you get access to it, but it doesn't expose it to the public. So let's say this is what we call Bitcoin digital signatures. So it confirms it, and if that is being done, that you have the Bitcoin in your wallet and available, the total amounts you actually want to send out, your transaction can be now processed, and after confirmations, it's received by the other end. Then we also have what we call a block explorer. What is that? A block explorer? Block explorer is a website that gives you a detailed information about every transaction made or done on the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain. So for example, like I said, blockchain technology is actually a wonderful technology in which information is being stored there, and that information is accessible to everyone. Makes it decentralized, so no one has access to one particular information and the other person doesn't have access to it. Everyone has access to it. So any transaction done on the Bitcoin blockchain is being made available on a block explorer. So you can see that someone sends money from this wallet to this other wallet, and also the time that transaction was made. So one of the block explorers you can actually check for Bitcoin transactions is what we call blockchain.info. So you can go to the website, check blockchain.info, and you see various detailed information about every transaction done on the Bitcoin blockchain. Good stuff. I believe you guys are learning and gaining value. Right, let's proceed to what we call, let's talk about Bitcoin transactions. So what is Bitcoin transactions? These are each transaction that occurs on the Bitcoin is what recorded on a ledger. And what is actually a ledger? A ledger is a collection of financial transactions that happens up to date. A ledger is what a collection of financial transactions done in the Bitcoin blockchain, and it is up to date from the beginning of the transactions ever done on the Bitcoin blockchain till up to date. And all transactions on the ledger are grouped alongside with other transactions, including the time created, into what is called a block. I've talked about what a block is already. Now, for Bitcoin transactions to be approved or Bitcoin mined intensively, calculations what has to be carried out, which requires computing power and electricity. So that's why we talk about, if you want to talk about Bitcoin miners, to be a successful Bitcoin miner, you need good electricity supply and computing power. That is various combinations of various mighty computers together and a good electricity to be able to mine mine Bitcoin successfully. And that also for Bitcoin transaction, because miners are the ones that what approve every transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain. So these are things you need to know. Now, when a transaction is added to the Bitcoin block, it is maintained or arranged chronologically. When we talk about something arranged chronologically, what does it mean? It's arranged according to the time that transaction was made. So it is orderly. So if a transaction was made 901, that is when it will show. Then the next transaction 902, it follows that order. So you can be able to keep record on what time a transaction was made on the Bitcoin blockchain. This is made possible by a timestamp, which means a record that helps in identifying when a particular event occurred exactly. So a timestamp helps us to be able to arrange the Bitcoin transactions chronologically. So I believe you understand what Bitcoin transactions in, how it takes place, and the rest. Okay, let's proceed to what we call, I talked about Bitcoin miners. So what are Bitcoin miners? Miners uses their computer to generate new Bitcoins. And when I talk about to be a successful miner, you need combination of computers, that is for computing power, and also going fast electricity supply. And what is the responsibility of miners? The responsibility of the miner is to validate transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. So every transaction made on the Bitcoin blockchain is being validated by them. What we call validation, checking, making sure that Bitcoin is let's say the other user has it and it's being sent to the other user successfully. So that's why actually there's some challenges, because more miners makes it the game faster. So miners, so I believe most of us have been already talking about miners, knowing about miners. So as a miner, you don't actually only earn from generating new Bitcoins, you also earn from validating transactions on the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, or we learn something new. So now miners get paid twice. Like I said, that for validating transactions and generating new Bitcoins, the miner is left with the responsibility of finding the nonce value on the transaction so as to be able to generate the hash of the transactions. That's the responsibility of the miner. Okay, we also have what we call the proof of work. Now, Bitcoin works with the proof of work modality. That's it. In which, for a transaction to be added to the blockchain, multiple CPUs, that's processors, are used for a good amount of time. That's why I tell you a combination of computers. So before a transaction can be added to the blockchain, it works with the mentality of proof of work. So there have to be various combinations of computers, processors, to be able to use for a good time for that transaction to be added. And what good does this help us? It makes it difficult for hackers to penetrate the Bitcoin blockchain. Why is it so? Because before an hacker can actually penetrate, he has to undo all the work that has been done on the blockchain previously. And what does that require? A good amount of time, more computations, and more CPUs and the rest. So that's a lot of work. Okay, let's proceed. Let me check the chat and see if there's a question, so I can answer some questions and we proceed. If you have questions, we also drop in the comment box. Okay, check it out. All right. Okay, I have a question here. One question here. The question is, please, I want to understand the difference between Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin miners. Okay, Bitcoin mining is the process of mining or creating new Bitcoins. The miners are the persons that does this. They are not robots, they are human beings. So miners are the person that does this. And what is the responsibility of a miner? To generate new bitcoins with the help of their computers together. And also they also have the responsibility of validating transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. Okay, I think that's just one question there. So let's proceed, guys. Let's proceed. All right. So now we are back here. We're talking about what is a secret. Call it segmentation weaknesses. So it's the method of scaling the Bitcoin network so as to perform more transactions faster. Like I've been telling us, because of miners validating transactions, that tends, they are done manually. Note that manually, that tends to make transactions not really faster. But Secret has come to scale the Bitcoin network. So they actually knew to scale the Bitcoin network so as to help transactions being performed faster, no better. So it's a good one there. Then we also have what we call the 51% attack. What does this mean? 51% attack. This is actually a scenario in which someone uses his or her Bitcoin to pay for services more than once, making it double spending. 51 attack. This is solved by transactions following the chronological order in which the first transaction made with confirmations direct address the Bitcoin will be sent to. So when we talk about 51 attack, like I said, this is a scenario in which someone, like for example, I have Bitcoin in my wallet address and I'm sending to my friend Guru, and also I have one Bitcoin. I now send the one Bitcoin to Guru, and based on the issues of transaction, before the complete confirmation and the Bitcoin gets to the person, it will take a good number of time. So I try to outsmart the system and say, okay, that Bitcoin will still be at my wallet address because it hasn't been sent successfully yet. I now say, okay, let me also send that same one Bitcoin to another of my friend called Timothy. I do the same thing. Now I'm using one Bitcoin that I have to make two transactions on the blockchain. What does that mean? I'm trying to be smart. Than the blockchain. But will it work? No. What helps us in this process is what we call the chronological method, in which transactions are being recorded on the blockchain, in which the first transaction with confirmations, the complete confirmations, is the right address in which that Bitcoin I was sending to will be sent to. So the transactions will go from one for each person till the first. And the first transaction I made was for Guru. So Guru will be the first person to get that Bitcoin. And then that transaction will be cancelled. So you can actually outsmart the system. But when the technology was still coming up in the years 2013 and the rest, yet these challenges were there. So more coding was put in, and this was actually solved. So right now we don't experience this any longer. Okay, let's make more progress. Now, what are the various ways you can actually protect your Bitcoin or any of the cryptocurrency in your wallet? Very important things you need to do. When creating your Bitcoin wallet address on an exchange, select a very strong password. Because if someone knows your password, you can get access to your crypto or Bitcoin and it's gone. So to get a good password, I suggest you use alphanumeric. What does that mean? A capital letter, alphabet, numbers, and you can actually also add symbols. That makes it strong. At least minimum of 8 characters. That makes it strong, and I believe someone will be able to denote or be able to get hold of your password. Then another thing you can actually use to help yourself is what we call use a 2F authenticator. What does it do? It helps you to secure. You can actually use a Google authenticator or an SMS authenticator. What does it do? Before any transaction is made on your wallet or your exchange, wherever your Bitcoin or your crypto is being stored, a code is being sent, maybe if you're using SMS authenticator, to your phone number. So nobody can actually get hold of your wallet and do a transaction. A code will be sent to your phone number. If it's Google Authenticator, a code will be sent to your Google Authenticator application. So which are always in your possession. So you tend to be saved, secured. And always back up your Bitcoin public wallet keys. Back it up, store it, write it down in a piece of paper, or you store it somewhere, save it somewhere secretive that you have access to and other persons don't have access to. Okay, and now what we'll be talking again is now where to buy Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. You can actually buy Bitcoin from exchanges. We have the likes of Binance, OKX, KuCoin, and the rest. You can actually also buy cryptocurrencies from what we call using P2P. That was the initial method. P2P is called peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer, in which I actually can buy a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin from a friend of mine or from my friend. Transactions done. So, but when using P2P, you have to be careful, very careful, because most times you can actually be dealing with someone that is a scammer, and when you send him the Bitcoin, it doesn't send you maybe your funds in return, or you send him funds, it doesn't send you your crypto or Bitcoin in return. So you actually work with trusted persons, or you work with exchanges, which is the best. I prefer buying my crypto from exchanges. So let's proceed. I told us today to understand Bitcoin, how Bitcoin and the blockchain technology works. So we're getting into more advanced stages. So now we'll be talking about what we call important facets of blockchain. These are things you might not know. We're going to learn. So one of the important facets of blockchain is what we call public and private keys infrastructure. And what does this mean? PKI, public keys infrastructure, or we call it, and also private keys infrastructure. They have their various keys. So this is actually a method in which people identity are encrypted and secure, but transactions are being carried out on the blockchain, whereby the PKI generates a user ID for each person, which what serves as a wallet address to receive coins. So when we talk about PKI, public keys infrastructure, it's a way of protecting your identity, because the blockchain is actually a good way protect your identity. So to protect identity, it generates now. That's how wallet addresses are being created. It now creates this wallet address in encrypted form, which you don't even understand what that means. Alphanumeric and the rest, you don't understand what it means. And now you can actually now use that, send to someone else. The person doesn't know who sent him this. And transactions are being made. But when you're sending person, it's actually being processed on the blockchain. You are working with public and private keys infrastructure. So you'll be sending someone your wallet address that is public, something you can see. You can actually allow someone else to see. But now, when the person is actually now sending you this Bitcoin, the blockchain get access to its private keys, which no one can see, just the blockchain. That checking it is actually to confirm that that person actually has the Bitcoin he wants to send to you. You get, and it now sends it to your public keys infrastructure. That's your wallet addresses and you get your crypto. So we talk about public and private keys infrastructure. Then another thing we also have, another facet of blockchain, is what we call the hash function. This is actually a modality in which information is programmed on the blockchain. It makes information encrypted for different persons, but still follows the same modalities for everyone. Note this, it helps you to be able to generate the real message pass because it is encrypted on the hash values. So this is actually a modality in which information is programmed on the blockchain. It follows the same modalities, but encrypted for different persons. Hash functions. So, for example, you actually have a hash function. It's going to be encrypted differently, like I said. Alphanumeric and the rest are the wallets is being created, but it follows the same methods. Like now, alphanumeric, capital letters, small letters, and the rest follows that pseudocode. Might have a total number of, let's say, 16 digits. You get, it follows that same modalities, but each and every one has a different one encrypted for different persons. So it follows a modality, a system, already programmed system, but each and every one has its own different, what we call, hash functions. So we also have what we call the nonce. Nonce. What is a nonce? A nonce is a number that can only be used once, and when used can't be used again. It's a number that has no meaning and majorly forms the hash functions. So the nonce is logically most of these numbers you see on the, it's are numbers. Nonce are numbers. Nonce are numbers. So that we see on, let's say, our wallet addresses, you see those numbers. Those are all, yeah, you just use once. You can't go into another wallet address and still see that same method in which those numbers arranged that same way. They have no meaning, but they actually makes it actually forms blockchain, a transaction, a wallet address, that makes it so no one can understand what those words means. You don't understand what those words means. But if you actually now send that wallet address or that to someone else, that person can now send you a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin to that wallet address, and you receive it. But looking at it, it has no meaning. But for the receiver, it has meaning. It can send money to it. So that's nonce. So an hash is equals to transactions plus nonce. It's an hash. Transactions plus nonce. So those are important facets of the blockchain. So let's make progress. We now talk about different types of blockchain. We have the private blockchain and we have the public blockchain. When we talk about private blockchain, it's actually quite a bit complicated. That is actually a blockchain open or limited to specific persons. Those still has the characteristics of a blockchain that is immutable. It can't be changed, information put. But that blockchain is naturally open to the public or for everyone. Maybe for an organization, yeah, let's say for an organization. For an organization or company, they actually have their own blockchain. But they can't actually make that open for everyone. They can only make that open for members of their company, organization. But it still has the characteristics of a blockchain. Then why a public blockchain? Just for example, the Bitcoin blockchain. It's a normal blockchain which everyone has access to. You can actually see what is happening on that blockchain, transactions being made on the block explorer. For the private blockchain, only open for specific persons. Then we also have now various uses of blockchain technology. So when you talk about blockchain technology, most people actually now denote it to only the financial system of money, because it started with financial Bitcoin, the rest. But blockchain, like I've told you guys, is actually doesn't solve that problems alone, the financial problems alone. It actually also helps us in other different problems, solve other problems. So it has uses. So the blockchain can actually be used for copyright issues. That is the idea of digital ownership. And how does this work? Since the characteristics of a blockchain is immutable, you can actually not remove information imputed on the blockchain. So now, for example, copyright issues. We're talking about copyright issues, the uses of blockchain based on copyright issues. So for example, I developed, let's use music, for example. I created a song or a song, yes, and then I put it on the blockchain. I am the first person that has that song, and no one can actually remove the song I have put on the blockchain. No one can edit it, and no one can do anything on it. So that gives me what my copyright issues. Because most times people now come to use someone's product, let's say books, and say it's actually theirs. They modify it. But now, if any modification is being done on that, since we are working with chronological transactions are arranged chronologically. So if you now came now and copy what someone is doing, the blockchain will tell us that you copy because you will be under that person. That person was the first person to add his data on the blockchain. So let's say song on the blockchain. So if you are remixing that person, it will be under that person. So copyright issues are being solved. Digital ownership. So once the data is recorded on the blockchain, it can't be removed or edited. So content can be added to the blockchain where everybody can see it and know who added that content first, and so copyright issues prohibited. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So blockchain not only solving finances issue, also solving our real day-to-day life problems. So copyright issues is being solved. Then also another great thing the blockchain technology is actually helping us solve is online voting, elections. So it helps you what makes each vote tamper proof. So therefore take away rigging of elections. Because characteristics of blockchain, when it can't be removed, it can't be edited, and the rest. So when we can use it for elections, countries can actually use the blockchain technology to conduct their electoral activities, and to what be free and fair equality, in which you vote and your vote is counted. It just meaning counted because no one can cheat the system. So good stuff. Those are just the two uses I'll be talking about blockchain for today. Cause let's proceed now. I'm talking about the usefulness of blockchain technology and the rest. It also has what you call disadvantages. You need to know that everything has advantage and disadvantage. So we now talk about disadvantages of the blockchain technology of Bitcoin, for example. And with those disadvantages, most of them are being worked on. So now one of the disadvantages of the blockchain technology of Bitcoin is that transactions doesn't happen in real time. Why is it so? Because transactions has to be confirmed on the blockchain. So it can't happen in real time. Miners have to actually validate each transaction made on the blockchain. So it doesn't happen in real time. You have to have some patience for the transaction to be validated and you now receive it, or it's been sent successfully. Then another disadvantage of the blockchain technology is that once a transaction is done, it can't be reversed. Once a transaction is done, it can't be reversed. So if you make mistakes in your transactions, you have lost it. So you have to actually be very careful when using the blockchain technology or Bitcoin, for example, while inputting data, making transactions. You have to be very, very careful, because while a transaction is done, it can't be reversed. You have lost it totally if you made mistakes. For example, if your wallet address made some mistakes, you have lost it totally. Another disadvantage of the blockchain technology is that on the blockchain, there is no modification button, so nothing can be changed if a mistake was made. I've talked about that. Another thing about the blockchain technology is it requires complex coding, not just like a normal using the coding to develop website and the rest. Blockchain requires complex coding, so you have to have expertise knowledge about blockchain technology. And if you have good expertise knowledge about blockchain technology, how to develop a blockchain and the rest, you can make good money for yourself. Good money. So it's something, the skills you can actually acquire, learn, and do better for you. Then we now talk about the future of blockchain technology. We have been talking about blockchain technology. We have been relating it to Bitcoin most especially. So now we talk about a future of blockchain technology. I'm bringing Ethereum into the picture. And what is Ethereum? Ethereum is created on a blockchain platform. Note that. But the difference between Ethereum blockchain and the Bitcoin blockchain is that it's a platform to create smart contracts, and it uses the proof of stake method to validate transactions. We're going to talk about what smart contracts and what proof of stake is. Let's start with proof of stake. So proof of stake method to validate transactions. Note, the Bitcoin blockchain, we use proof of work, in which we have to bring more computations, more work must be done, CPU, computing power, and the rest, electricity, for it to be able to validate transactions. But when we talk about the Ethereum blockchain, we use proof of stake, in which the more Ethereum you have, the more power you have to be able to validate transactions. And that looks quite sweet. It gives you power. So if you'll be interested to own more Ethereum so that you can actually validate more transactions and make money. Note, while validating transactions on the blockchain, you earn from the transaction fees. Note that. So proof of stake is actually a good concept from the Ethereum blockchain. And also, Ethereum is a blockchain that is a platform to help create what smart contract. And what is smart contract? Smart contract simply means self-executing contract. Self-executing contract. So contracts, smart contracts are in our computer codes, normal, and are executed when those certain conditions are met. So smart contracts are just logical sequence defining the if else if statement. So like what I said, smart contracts are what self-execution contracts. So Ethereum blockchain helps you to create smart contracts, which I can now stay and use the Ethereum blockchain and develop anything of my choice, but working with computer codes. So if I say, if I type GS if anyone types S on the blockchain, it should save my work. So if you do that, it is executed. The transaction is executed. So that's what smart contract is. That's what smart contract is. So we have come to the end of the class today. So I'll be going now to check out questions before we make progress. We close it for today. Close for today. So let's check it out. All right. Okay. Questions, yeah. Okay, get massive value. You're getting massive value. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you are gaining value from the lesson. And I have a question here. How Bitcoin wallet address generated? Okay, like I said, it is using the facets of blockchain. That's the PKI, public key infrastructure, the nonce, and they are. Okay, so without questions any longer, I believe we're going to call it a day. We're going to call it a day, guys. So let's get back and close it here. So I believe you got value from today's class. If you have questions, do well to chat me up on my WhatsApp support line, or you can drop it on the comment section and I'll do well to reply you. So this PowerPoint presentation is available in soft copy. If you actually need it, you can actually chat me up on my WhatsApp line displayed on your screen or on the description, this YouTube live description. You can see it there, and you chat me up. Tell me you are from today's class, understanding how Bitcoin and blockchain technology works, and you get it so you can actually study it in your spare time. So this is actually powered from by BTC Trade Academy. Like I told you all, we are the home for wealth creation through blockchain education. So I believe in today's class you got value. So if you actually want to learn more about it, broaden your horizon about cryptocurrency and blockchain education, be able to go to our website learnbtctrade.com. Check it out there, and you can enroll for any of our courses there, get access to our communities, our signals group, and make money, create wealth. Thank you all today. Peace out.